There you are! Now that you're here, we can explore this place.
I see someone's a bit impatient. You think there's something important here?
Isn't it obvious? I make a discovery, I'm gonna investigate the heck out of it. And wait till you see what I found.
Where exactly are we?
Good question. I don't know, but the answer is most certainly around us somewhere.
Who built that portal?
You mean the one that brought us here? Think about where it was located in Bloodstone Fen. Before it blew up, I mean. Maybe the Mersat or White Mantle used it to travel here. I'm not sure why, though. I don't know exactly where here is just yet.
All the more reason to press onward.
Good attitude.
All right, lead the way.
Follow me. Huh.
I feel...
Do you feel that?
strange.
Yeah! Do you see that?
So what is this great discovery of yours?
Something very powerful and ancient. We need to get closer before I can confirm my hypothesis. Let's deal with that monstrosity in our way, and then we can get up close and personal to our pyramidal friend. You go first.
There's something special about the water here. I feel energized.
Agreed. I believe it has magical properties, hence our newfound ability.
I'll be sure to put it to good use.
Enjoy it while it lasts.
Who built that portal?
You mean the one that brought us here? Think about where it was located in Bloodstone Fen. Before it blew up, I mean. Maybe the Mersat or White Mantle used it to travel here. I'm not sure why, though. I don't know exactly
How's
where
your research
here is
going?
just yet.
All the more reason to press onward.
Good attitude.
How's your research going?
Great. And terrible. I think I've learned all I can about ley lines and ley rifts for the moment. I suppose the timing was right for a new discovery. I want to learn all we can about this place. Where are we? What's that jade construct doing over there? Why would someone build a portal here in the first place? At first glance, it seems that we're in a cave, but what's so special about it that you'd place a sentry inside it? You don't just randomly drop a construct somewhere because you feel like it. What lies beyond that creature? Treasure? Artifacts? I have many, many questions, and I need your help to answer them.
I'm going to stay a little bit further back so I can bait the next agony. And hopefully get it off one of a few DPS types so you can stay on the stack. Special action key, special action key, special action key. Oh, use the last charge and all my shouts. There we go, got him.
You can use the last charge.
No, that was a joke.
I'm over here!
On the way!
We need to talk.
Be right there.
All right, lead the way.
Never thought I'd spend time in a place like this. Of course we'd have to find a dead body.
Not my fault.
I see we're late to the party.
Totally not my fault.
Would you stop that already?
The rubble here seems deliberately placed. That doesn't sound good. Why would someone barricade themselves in here? What's on the other side?
I want to know more about that thing we're chasing.
I have a theory, but it's controversial. If I could only get closer.
What do you think it is?
It's the Eye of Janthier. I've seen drawings of it at the Priory, but don't think anyone's actually seen it in centuries. Not much is known about it, though some believe it has connections to the Mersat. Long ago, the White Mantle used it to identify humans of extraordinary magical aptitude, whom they deemed the Chosen. This title wasn't as illustrious as it sounded. Chosen were rounded up, hauled away, and sacrificed on a bloodstone. By most accounts, the Eye hasn't been seen since 1072 or so. No one can agree on what became of it. Some hypothesize that it was lost during a skirmish between White Mantle and Shining Blade forces. Others think it retreated to the Isle of Janthier, or maybe to wherever the Mersat came from. Nobody knows, except us, because we just found it.
The more we learn about it, the better. This place is depressing.
Were you expecting a holiday retreat in South Sun or something? Cheer up, things could be worse. At least you're not an impaled, dehydrated husk.
Who or what would kill these prisoners and leave them like this?
No idea, but whatever attacked them was mighty angry. Not all of the scattered rubble was caused by natural degradation. Some of the cell bars were torn from the wall. An earthquake didn't cause that.
I'd bet my tail they were staging a riot. Look around. Who's responsible for all this carnage? This is obviously a murder scene.
What gave that away? The faint aroma of dried skin, or that we're surrounded by skewered people?
Again with the jokes.
Sorry, coping mechanism. But to your point, it looks as if the perpetrator forced his way into the room. The passageway to the next room was blocked by debris. But if you'll turn your attention toward the ceiling, you may notice a rather large hole. Look at the positions of the bodies. I'm willing to bet most of them were hit at range from that perch. I assume that time has converted this place from a prison to a tomb. There's a good chance our murderer is long dead.
Let's hope so. Who do you think these prisoners were?
I'm not sure. From what I've seen so far, there are a lot of human bodies, but also those of other races.
Yeah, I think there may have been Jotun here. Maybe others too. I don't think ordinary criminals would be held in such a high security place. Maybe they were political prisoners.
True. The fact that this prison is underground and only accessible by portal suggests
that someone wanted to keep their captives extremely isolated. But why?
So there would be no chance of escape. Or perhaps they wanted to experiment on them, interrogate them, etc. Being in my line of work, I have a high tolerance for the macabre, but this place is starting to get under my skin. I can't really explain it, but I feel like we're constantly being watched. We already know about the Eye, but what else is still here?
Judging from the trajectory of these spears, the attacker struck from a precise location. But where was he situated? Whoever wore the garment left scales behind on the fabric. It's almost as if they fit a serpentine creature. Did a crate wear this? Or some other being? Interesting. This isn't a shiv. A prisoner didn't forge this. Jotun and humans. Who else did they lock up in this place? He's been dead a long time, yet there's little decay.
I suppose we should have expected that to happen. Look out!
What was that? That game room turned out to be a bit more dangerous than I'd expected.
I suppose the prison crowd gets its kicks a little differently than you or I.
I get the feeling it was more about entertaining the guards, or humiliating the prisoners.
Agreed.
Meat
Whoever got
thief.
locked in that room was probably a very bad inmate.
Or on the warden's special list.
Perhaps.
That game room turned out to be a bit more dangerous than I'd expected.
I suppose the prison crowd gets its kicks a little differently than you or I.
I get the feeling it was more about entertaining the guards, or humiliating the prisoners.
Agreed. Whoever got locked in that room was probably a very bad inmate.
Or on the warden's special list.
Perhaps, though I'd imagine anyone trapped in there wouldn't survive long. I can only imagine what the room was for, but the fact that the pieces looked like jade constructs...
This place is looking more and more like some cruel Mersat creation.
It's starting to make sense that we've found human, Jotun, and possibly forgotten remnants here. Our hosts were far from hospitable, and they didn't seem to care much for any lives but their own.
I keep hearing things.
I heard them too. I'm not sure what made those sounds, but thankfully they're from far enough away.
Yes, but we keep going deeper into the ruins. We're heading toward them.
I know. I'm a bit concerned at what we might find ahead.
We have to be prepared for anything.
I have faith in your abilities.
I want to know more about the Eye.
I'm with you. This is a huge discovery.
If the Eye is monitoring this place, it must be involved in running it somehow.
We have to determine its role, its motivation, its contribution to this
Awful place of torture.
Thanks. I was struggling to find the right words.
We've made it this far. We can't give up now.
Agreed. Thanks for sticking with me.
Have you come to crawl inside my head? Join the others? There's no more room. make him angry!
What the blazes was that?
If its puppets were to be believed, it used to be a prisoner here. Did you see its broken shackles? I may not know from experience, but I've read a few papers on correctional facilities. Sometimes exceptional inmates are given jobs or responsibilities. Perhaps that one was in charge of the others. And when the prison masters left him to his own devices, he, took his job extra seriously.
But what was it? I've never seen such a creature.
Nor have I.
Those minions were in terrible pain.
You did them a favor. Now they're at rest. The more we explore this place, the more unsettled I feel. It's like we're close to the center now. I'm almost certain the Eye is nearby, watching and waiting like we're another of its prisoners.
Do you think the Eye is acting on behalf of the Mursat?
Undoubtedly. It identified Chosen hundreds of years ago. I bet it was and still is somehow responsible for this prison. I never thought a freaky floating eye could be such a terrifying entity. Have you noticed the star fields? Felt the celestial energy? It's like this place is on the edge of our plane. Like we're touching the skin of Tyria.
What are you doing? You'll let him out! This all my fault. The Mossad betrayed us and murdered my men, and then dragged me to this terrible place. I've been trapped here, tormented by my own demons, paralyzed by the shame of selling out my people. The Eye kept me alive, and used my guilt to try to break me down, force me to be the Mersad's puppet. Now, I'm free.
I'd always considered the founder of the White Mantle as some kind of monster. Now I know he was just a flawed person. Tortured by his guilt and haunted by his mistakes, that man suffered for more than 200 years in this cesspit. Nobody deserves that.
We have a saying in the Priory. History is like a pair of dice, many-sided and loaded with chance. Every story has multiple angles. Most of us just accept what we're taught, but that can be dangerous. But let's be honest, Saul was no paragon. Let's just say the man had issues before his Mossad betrayal. But to your point, it seems clear that he tried to reform himself and help his people drive out the Char invasion.
Hey, all is fair in war. The humans invaded our lands, so we were just returning the favor.
Regardless, if Saul is to be believed, the White Mantle he founded was very different from what it became. At least now Mr. D'Alessio is free. May he find comfort in the afterlife.
See to it that Saul's body is interred on Crichton soil. Don't bother notifying the Seraph. That would complicate matters. I'd imagine the Queen's people would rather see his corpse destroyed, or have it displayed as a trophy. I sincerely doubt they'd be interested in learning about the man. That would just complicate their narrative.
I see you've taken up politics. Nasty business, isn't it?
And considering the current dysfunction of the White Mantle, we shouldn't talk to them either.
I'll treat this as a Priory matter of the highest secrecy then. Glad to know we're on the same wavelength. I'll see to it that his remains are handled respectfully, though it may take some time.
So, about the Eye of Janthir.
A truly awful and cruel discovery, but an important one nonetheless. We still don't know its origins, only that it's somehow involved with the Mossad. Do they come from the same place? But at least we know a bit about its role here. It sustained Saul's life, and those of the other prisoners. It peered into their minds, used their weaknesses and regrets to break them down. In short, it's nasty. But by killing its guards, you forced it to retreat. Somewhere. But without the aid of its life-sustaining powers, Saul's body quickly deteriorated. I would like to know more about the Eye, but I fear it's gone for good. A shame, really.
Now that the miasma has lifted, we should be able to explore the floor below.
Considering what we've already experienced, I'm hesitant to venture much further. Before he passed, Saul spoke of the mental and physical tortures he endured. They wanted to break him down. Makes sense, since the Mossad would have had an easier time steering the mantle with its founder at the helm. Ironic that they left him here while they went off to meddle with human affairs, only to be largely killed off. Even if he'd broken down and become their slave, the Mossad would have never returned to retrieve him. So he waited here, unaware that he'd never be freed. I wonder if he even knew how much time had passed. But I would imagine that there are still secrets to uncover, facts to find, etc.